Hello again. Here we are, facing a horror with our spears and swords and things. This seems like a smart thing to do. Um,
Whose bright idea was this?
I feel like it was yours. No. I'm about
Combination of the dice and how things turned out. It could have been very different.
yeah.
This is why we play games with dice. So, Sean, I believe that multiple people will die if you don't roll well. So,
Yeah. Let's see. How it goes.
let's see
What's
everyone's fate.
What's my effect?
Standard.
All right, I'm going to push for great.
Okay. Not for an extra die. Interesting.
I can't. I've got a devil's bargain.
That's true.
I
This is a
want-
group skirmish.
I want to murder this thing.
Yep, it's a group skirmish.
All right.
Well, actually, no. It's just the squad is fighting, and Sean is just rolling on behalf of the squad, effectively.
Okay. Never mind.
Awesome.
Well, I got a 5.
Yeah.
Right.
Yay.
So let me give you some ticks here. So on a standard effect, you would usually do 2. Great effect 3, right? So 2, 3. This thing is still not dead, but the fiction changes, right? So I think that Sean, what weapon does your rookie use?
I'm thinking this is real practical, but given today's thing, Ignacio has not Ignacio, sorry. Crimson Rising Tide has 2 like long bladed curved daggers, and they're like sheath drawn, like and like dives in, it's just like snap this thing.
Sean, I love you very much, but you're gonna need to use something other than daggers if you're planning to ever harm a horror. This thing
Right.
is like 12 feet tall
Right.
and has legs like tree trunks.
Nice, awesome. So that's when they're like, I mean, this is the perfect opportunity for you to be like, and that's when that doesn't work. So that's when let's see, what's a good hand weapon that
Axe, sword, a spike you picked up somewhere on the ground, anything you want.
Yeah, I think an axe is great. I think the same the shield and axe were on the back, and I think
Awesome.
when this is like that didn't work. He pulls this long handled axe off his back and just starts whacking away like he's taking down a tree.
Awesome.
Yes.
So I think that there's a moment where maybe we can say that you like use the daggers to like climb up into position, and then you take out the axe for like some sort of like key strike to try and like
headshot. I mean, it's not going to kill it, but I can still chop it in the head.
I was going to suggest, I mean, you like smash the axe in and like, you're like, got its head. And then you realize it's got like multiple other faces.
Yeah,
and it's
right. Totally.
like,
Another one
it's
just sort of
not
like,
dead!
one of them just sort of surfaces from between some other, yeah.
Yeah, you see like a squad of rotters coming up on your unit, but they get like suppressive fired out of, the air. And there's this moment where the horror, it takes its arm, and like you see like the shots go through the arm from the suppressive fire, and like ethereal green flame spurts where Blackshot hits it, and it takes that weird like digging tool metal thing.
Yeah.
And sorry, I've got a very loving cat.
Edie.
It takes that digging thing and it brings it down, and you folks are the owls, I believe, right? Or I'm sorry, you're the ravens.
Ravens, yeah.
Awesome. So I think gray wafting smoke is just gonna get bisected. This thing like just hammers into him.
No, she
Yeah,
just
I
got
know.
promoted.
I know. This is what happens when people are playing. And the soldiers, he's just an NPC in the squad. This thing like buries him in half. You folks are like driving weapons into this thing, and of course the other thing it does is it smashes its back against the rubble. So Sean, you are going to take level 3 harm.
Nice.
So now
It's
this is where I
3
point out something.
It's 3 because it's 2 from risky and 1 from threat.
Quality, yeah, threat.
Right, because we have matching scale.
Correct. You have matching scale.
Yeah.
So its quality is higher, and you're going to take level 3 harm. This is where I point out that if someone like the medic wants to, they might be able to save. So like Grey Wafting basically has like the digger is basically like giant sporks, right? They're like big metal sporks, and yeah, when he gets pinned to the ground, he has like 2 of these sporks going through his midsection. So Doctor, if you want to, you can save his life, or with a resistance roll. And Sean, you can attempt to test down your harm if you'd like.
Yeah, I definitely want to resist that harm.
Cool. This is going to be a prowess resist. Okay, this is a battle, and it's the consequences of a battle. So if you want to, you can just give me a prowess resist and be like, no, I saved Grave Wafting Smoke, but you're going to have to tell me how. It can be with medicine. It can be by, like, diving in and pushing that arm out of the way before it murders him. Whatever you want.
Yeah, I actually kind of like pushing the arm out of the way. Like, obviously, he still gets injured, but I think maybe I spotted right before it happened that it would have gone for like vital organs or whatever, and I was like, no.
Push it down to just glancing blow.
Yeah. Sorry, I was corrected. Grey Wafting Smoke is a lady. My bad. Continue. So yeah, you can definitely push it out of the way. Just give me a prowess resist.
Okay. What did I get? I don't even know. I got 5.
If that is your prowess roll, it looks like you got a 3, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, yes. 3 then.
Cool. In which case, it costs you 3 stress, but you save the soldier's life.
Okay.
Cool.
I am super stressed out now.
Yeah. So Crimson
what is this? I was about to ask you, but yeah, Jen, what does this look like? Like, obviously, you push the thing out of position. It doesn't land a critical blow. Do you like pull this person back and give her drugs? Like, do you bind her? Do you just like put her back on her feet and charge back in with her? Like,
No. I pull her back with me. And yeah, I think that I think I give her drugs. Like, I give her like the Band of Blades equivalent of like epinephrine or whatever.
Okay. Yeah. Tonics.
Yeah.
Tonics. Cool. Yeah. And awesome. Yeah, that seems, your job. You give her the equivalent of epinephrine. She comes gasping back. And it's just like, oh God, that hurt. Right. So yeah, do you give her a pep talk, any words, or are you just like, get back in there, soldier?
Get back in there.
Put me back in, coach!
I don't actually think that
What was Zora do?
get back in there and kind of medic.
Fair.
So I think actually she kind of helps Grey Wafting Smoke stand back up, but kind of holds her back for a second and says, like, let's be smart here, because like charging in and whatever is clearly not working so hot for us. So maybe like judge your position before you make another move, or like effectively like watch where you're going.
Yeah, because the thing's still alive. It's beat to all hell, but it's still dangerous and still flailing.
Sean.
Yeah. So my first question is there anybody who wants some sweet XP to try and protect Crimson Rising Tide? I'm not saying you should, but there's other people there that obviously I don't think it makes sense within the fiction for Rhea to do it.
Yeah.
But if anyone wants to jump on that blade, they can. Otherwise, I'm happy to resolve. But I just thought I would give that option to people to get XP off of my character.
Sure. Why not?
Now, here's the catch, is that it means you'll protect, but then the harm goes to you instead. It'll be reduced. But
yeah. All right, so you said a prowess resist?
Yeah. How are you going to do it?
So this is another one where you've got sporks coming down to
No, I'm on its back, and it's gonna like crash me into like
into a wall and
me.
break some ribs,
Yeah.
I think I just like cushion the blow, so like you get knocked towards a wall, but I'm between the wall and you.
Jesus, yeah, I see it.
What's your weapon of choice here? Like, you put something in the path. Are you gonna take the hit?
Because protect is usually used in so it's not quite as squished.
Okay. So Misha, usually when you do a protect, the way it works is that you take the harm, right? Like, so you would take level 3 harm, which means that you can test it down now.
Okay.
But Sean's character would be safe.
Gotcha.
Jen did a resist on the behalf of this rookie and basically like resisted, or the soldier, and resisted her dying. So like you can at this point protect, and you have to protect if you want XP.
Gotcha.
But
it's the same mechanical thing. You're still making
no, it's not, because if you do a resist, then Sean will take level 2 harm. If you do a protect, you're going to take level 3 harm, and then you can test it down to 2 or whatever.
Gotcha.
Oh,
I'll take the harm. Gotcha.
Is that different from?
No, that's standard blades. When you protect someone, you don't resist on behalf of them. You actually take the incoming blow onto yourself.
Cool. Just let me take level 2 harm. Just cushion the blow for me. If I'm taking level 2 from 1, I might as well have 2 level 2s. It's fun. They'll match. Like I wanted to be paired before.
I will point out that if you have armor, you can test down to level 1, and then your medic can fix you.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good point. I don't have armor.
Just an
anymore.
idea. Carry on.
I had a shield. I used it.
So maybe this protect is not a bad idea, because Misha can test it down to level 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I do have armor. Yeah.
Well, armor and a shield. No, a test down and armor would do it. Yeah, it's fine.
I don't have a shield. All right.
So Misha, you push Crimson out of the way, and then you're about to get smushed by this horror launching itself backwards. But you put a weapon up and it drives deep into its body. You're taking level 3 harm. I'm gonna say like broken ribs. You have like 1 or 2 that are broken. That's pretty bad.
All right. So I do have armor.
So your armor absorbs the blow somewhat. Rad. So that'll be level 2 harm. Do you want to prowess resist this?
Yep.
So tell me how you stop this half-ton beast from crushing you against the wall.
So she tucks her lance under her arm, or his. Ignacio's a he. Tucks his lance under his arm, so when the blow comes, like it like impales the thing's hand, and it kind of goes ouch, and it kind of like doesn't like put their full strength into the blow, because that would be like driving a spike through its hand. It doesn't like doing that, because that would hurt.
Awesome. But like yeah, okay. So what you're saying is that you're impaling it on your lance. You're using that lance to sort of like deflect its mass. All right, cool. Yeah, just give me a prowess resist.
Right.
Sweet.
Oh shit.
So it costs you 0 to reduce it to a level 1. Now, don't forget to mark XP wherever you like. And yeah, you
and then go talk to the medic.
1 harm, bruised. Awesome.
So I have a question after all this.
Yeah.
I know we didn't destroy it, but I think we wrecked the hell out of that horror, right?
Yeah.
I know it has a tick left, but like, what's it doing now that we've?
I think one of its heads is gone. So like, it's not completely destroyed, but it's like flailing. It doesn't seem to be able to use its other sensory organs really accurately.
I know
the
that feeling.
axe chops actually removed one of its arms, and it's got a lance in another one. And like one of its hands is like stuck in the ground. So like this thing is like basically like blind and just like swinging one arm around wildly, and like not really having like any sort of organized mission or attack pattern. Jay, I just want to warn you, you're seeing further troop reinforcements come up from the inside, but it looks like they're completely displaced at this point.
Okay.
So like they're moving out of position to engage, right? Like they feel like they've been attacked, so they're moving up. So if you want to send some sort of order, communicate something where you want people to slip around them at this point, they're pretty focused on a unit. You can do retreating actions, your suppressive fire. You might have to suppressive fire again to like hold that group or whatever, but that's in the future. In the present, yeah, this is the situation. The horror is mostly disassembled and not really clear on what it's doing. It's still dangerous though. Like imagine like a crane with a ball like swinging around wildly. It doesn't have to know who you are. It's still a dangerous thing.
Right.
What are you folks doing?
I let everyone know about those troops.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Because you're some distance away in a sniper position. Do you whistle? Do you have a? I don't think snipers have flare guns, but like, is there like some signaling or something that you can do?
Yeah, I think it's a whistle, and I think it's actually like maybe a small wooden whistle
Okay.
instead of, because I personally I can't whistle. I'd love to.
That's
I
fine.
can't do
That's
that
fine.
either.
I can't.
I wish I could, but I can't.
It's cool. I dig the fact that you have this wooden whistle and you let out this like particular series of toots.
Right.
Awesome. So folks, you get the heads up. And what is your particular series of toots saying? Is it just saying watch out? Is it saying run ahead and hide? What do you plan to do here?
I think it's a warning right now, with action to follow. My thought is my next action may be to suppress.
Okay.
I mean, we must have
waiting to
like
see how this play
incoming as a signal,
Yeah,
right?
no, absolutely.
Incoming's got to be a
I
standard.
was just double checking if your sniper was like, hold position, if the sniper was like retreat, like whatever. I was just trying to get the communication through.
Yeah, this is just informational. We've got
cool.
incoming.
Yeah.
Incoming. Yeah.
Crimson Rising is like, basically, like you said, it's like this crane swinging. It's like this death zone around it. But I figure this thing can't follow us. Now it can't see. Like, we didn't come here to kill horrors. We came here to get a hammer.
Right.
Let's go get that hammer. And
Right.
Crimson's like, let's just GTFO into that building before our troops get here. So
Okay.
he's like, let's go. And that's, but he's not the commanding officer. That's his inclination if folks are ready.
All right. Cool. So there is a bunch of enemy troops between you and the door.
Okay. And
I mean, there are lots of options, right? Like you could attempt to cut your way through them. I don't recommend it. They have vastly superior numbers. Jake could attempt to suppress them just to force them to like duck their heads. And then you folks could make a maneuver roll to run past them. But that's going to leave the troops between you and your exit.
Can we push the horror into them?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
That's rad. Yes. Okay. So the medic is coming up with a wild plan. I think that's really interesting. But I'm going to have to ask you a question. What kind of action do you think would do that? Like what
That sounds
sort
like
of
a wreck.
I can believe in that.
Yeah.
I mean, if Rhea is up for it, I say, yeah.
Well, Rhea's not going to be doing the wrecking. I've got nothing in wreck.
No, but you can lead the action.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Well,
like, you
but
do
I
a group-
can't take the stress. I have one open stress.
Yeah.
I can take the stress.
I got a theory around how rec could work right now.
It doesn't have to be wreck. You could be like sway to like convince it to go the wrong direction or whatever.
Trick it.
Could I
Right,
do
'cause that's
maneuver to push it?
Yes, you could maneuver, physical strength, pushing, putting some boxes and stuff behind it so that like when it connects with a box, it thinks you folks are in that direction, so it stumbles in that way.
That's
Whatever
exactly, yes.
Whatever you want to do, like I am okay with it. You could skirmish. Just pitch me an action and I will give you an effect and position, right? Like, but I don't know. There is no take horror, throw at enemies action.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean, like what I was thinking from a fictional positioning standpoint was that like it's been moving around in this space for a period of time, so we have an idea of what direction it's pointed in. It was pointed in.
Yep, it is actually, and it's flinging wildly. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so because my guess is that like the horrors are still, they're not like sort of omnidirectional, right?
No.
So,
No, it's built like a gorilla, right? Like it's got like the huge arms and like it's designed for digging, right? Like so like it has like super mega extra beefy arms, and you get the sense that it kind of curls up those diggers and like walks on the equivalent of knuckles, right? But yeah, it's definitely forward facing. It's not omnidirectional. It doesn't have multiple. Yeah.
So I was thinking of like a combination of like each one of us doing an action of like, grabbing onto one of the digger spork things with like rope and yanking it in a direction, and somebody pushing on the back of its leg, knee, or like whatever. You know what I mean? Like a coordinated effort.
Yeah.
And the maneuver is mostly to keep you people out of the way so you don't get clipped in the process.
100%.
This feels pretty okay to me. It feels risky because it is super strong, so I might like whip people along with the rope, like when you put the rope on the digger arm and like a couple of you pull. But I'm gonna say that you're it's gonna be risky standard. but I'm not going to apply full damage to you if something goes sideways, because it's not able to apply its full threat to you. It's fighting as at roughly equivalent threat because it's flailing wildly and you're not trying to fight it, right? Like you're not getting within killing distance. It's more like secondary fire. Is that fair, folks? Do you feel like that's okay?
Yeah, I like it.
No, I like it.
Awesome.
I want to propose Devil's Bargain. One option for Devil's Bargain. Sometimes there's maybe this is too complicated, and if so, I'm fine saying forget about it. But one of the options is you can use gear that might be appropriate to do this. If it was not just kind of approaching them, but approaching them like also on fire because I took the oil that I brought.
Nice, I like it.
That make it more dangerous to them, and therefore, could I use one of my oil to
I would say that you actually might want to use the entirety of your oil, and what you would really use it for is to try and help cordon paths, so that if the enemy tries scattering and getting away from the horror, they can't.
Yeah,
I like that a lot. Yeah, and maybe I don't even light it. It's just slippery. Is that what you're thinking? That like
combination of slippery and fire is fine.
Yeah, slippery and fiery. All right, so
using,
I got all these sacks of oil.
All of it. Just dump it all.
Right, because I think I'm messed up enough that even though I'm technically part of the action, this is the way I'm persuaded. So,
it's fine. You're just going to be at risk, but someone else will roll.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna give somebody a Devil's Bargain to with all that oil.
Who is this a group maneuver? Is this just?
I feel like it is. Like we're all participating, right?
Which is fine.
I don't know that I can handle leading it.
Ignacio, are you leading?
Sure.
All right, let's see that bravado in action.
All right, because Ignacio is leading, I can't roll because I'm a rookie, right?
Correct.
Who gets the Devil's Bargain die?
I'm going to give it to Ignacio because he's leading it.
Cool.
Do you have any maneuver, Jen?
I have 2 maneuver.
Oh,
you should roll with this group then.
I'm taking that back. I'm giving it to you. Good idea.
So Jen, you're gonna roll your maneuver and you're gonna add +1d.
Okay.
Sorry, Ignacio.
Is this risky standard?
Risky standard.
Okay.
That's how we play.
1 bonus.
All day long.
I got 5.
Okay, so not bad. You don't give Ignacio stress, and there might be some harm. Well, there will be harm probably. Who would Ignacio? You want to roll for the rookies? See if you can pull out that 6. No. You give yourself a stress. So 5 means that there's consequences applied to everyone that acted, which means the medic and the rookies.
Yep.
Hi, kitten. So I feel like this is so this means that level 2 harm is going to get applied here. So Jen, your doctor is going to take level 2 harm. And I'm going to say that Ignacio, you're going to take level 2 harm.
All right. Will armor help?
Yeah, if you have you already spent your armor, I believe.
Good point.
I have armor.
But you can test it down again if you would like.
Okay. Let's do that.
I'm gonna use my armor because
awesome. So that's reduced level 1 harm to you as well, Doc. All right, so Ignacio, that's going to cost you 2 stress.
Okay.
What happens when my stress track is full?
Nothing. If you go over full, so one of the things in Bands of Blades is that you can go to maximum,
okay,
but you can't. If you go over, you trauma.
Okay.
So you can actually push it all the way to the top. It's just in Blades, when you fill to the top, you get a trauma, which is I think a leftover from Apocalypse World, but we found that it was easier to teach. Just you can go to your max. It's gonna if
You've
it's
got all those boxes available.
You don't have any boxes left.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. All right. So the position is this. I'm going to describe the fiction, and then you folks are going to tell me what you want to do. This horror with fire and slipperiness all around it is swinging. And the undead, they attempt to move, right? And there's a couple of shots, keeping their heads down. And so finally, you see this tiny figure in that white coat with the bloody handprint on it's got that leather plague doctor mask on it, jumps up and lands on the back of one of the horrors, and it just makes this finger gesture. And you see the horror that's flailing around wildly. One of the other horrors engages it, right? Like, and so like it catches its hands and like tries to wrestle it. And you see a couple of the other undead get on it. It seems to think that they're you, so it's like scattering rotters left and right, right? And so like they're engaged for a hot second. What do you folks do?
Hustle!
This is
right?
Yeah, it's get inside.
I'm on the whistle. Go, 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 go!
All right, so I feel like you set up a position, you took some harm. You like a bunch of you have level 1 harm. You're all kind of mauled and wounded a bit. You hustle past this mess. I'm not going to make you make a maneuver roll because I feel like that shit storm is contained. Like it's fighting itself and there's fire and oil and stuff all around it. So you folks can get past it. If you don't roll well here, then it's going to collapse on you. So what happens is you get to where they're digging and they've actually dug all the dirt out of the way. And there's this giant friggin' temple door, and there are 2 doors and they're stone and they're sealed. And it's obvious that they couldn't open them because they're not unlocked. What do you folks want to do? This is a classic Tomb Raider moment. There's a giant stone door in front of you.
What is the nationality of these gods, the twin gods?
They're Aldermani.
They're Aldermani.
But if you had research, you could ask questions.
I do have research.
All right. That's a skill that nobody takes, but is super useful.
Yeah.
Would you like to find out stuff about this door and what you may have read in the legends?
I would love to find out stuff because I absolutely would have read everything I could about this damn area.
Okay, so I'm going to say something weird. Usually when you say, I'd like to roll some research, it's usually just like a fortune roll. And what we determine is how much information have you encountered.
Right.
But what I'm going to say is this is going to be risky standard because the temple doors are not super complicated. They're just basically like, are you faithful? And so what I'm going to say is the risk is that shitstorm that's happening over there spills over into your area. So this is one of the few times where I'm like, roll research as a risky standard action.
That seems legit.
Nice.
Risky standard.
Do you want assistance?
Well, I have for doctor I have 2, so I'm rolling 2 dice.
Yeah, and clearly your damaged shoulder and stuff is not in play here. This is about your smart.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to give me assistance, I'll totally take an extra die, but also I'm okay if I don't have that die.
Does anyone want to nominate their character for being familiar with Aldermani customs? I think we'd established that at least one of us was not. Or the Gray Wafting Smoke had been here, but Gray Wafting Smoke isn't being played, so we can't use them. But I think any of our characters could have traveled to this area, and I'm happy to throw.
So
What's that?
I have connected.
All right, so you have connections, you know people. If you wanna spend a stress, maybe you know some locals that may have given you information.
Oh, sure, we'll spend that last stress.
Some secret about those doors.
They friend and enter, right?
I got a 6.
Like you do. So there's this moment where there's this giant door that the undead couldn't figure out, but you're just like, okay, I understand what's up here. The hammer of Matiar is facing downwards. You have to like rotate it into position.
Yeah.
And then like that's basically like the latch and lock mechanism or whatever. So you do the thing, right? Like, and the doors crack open, and like you folks file in, and then the doors close. And do you want to relock the doors from the inside?
So long as all of our people are inside.
Yeah.
Yes.
You folks hustle, and you get in before the undead. Like you hear the pounding start, and you see like the dust coming from the door frame and everything. But
question about this maneuver, Jay, did you? Because you weren't shooting, you weren't involved with the maneuver. Did you pick up your rifle and haul ass and join us, or you still?
Yeah, I didn't know where Jay was.
That would require a maneuver roll.
Right.
Okay.
I assumed that the sniper is still outside.
Okay.
Yeah, Jay's just like, nope, please.
Right. In fact,
No, I
I
am yet.
grabbed one of the other rookies
Yep.
to play while
You
we're
totally get it, Jay. This is how this game works.
Oh, nice.
Good job.
Oh, excellent. I don't think there is another rookie, but you can grab one.
There's a
can create-
soldier.
create
Yeah,
wafting?
grab a soldier.
Yeah, soldier.
Yep. Awesome.
I've got Flavia.
Oh, all right. Awesome.
Flavia.
That sounds great.
Nice.
Okay.
I dig it.
So now comes the question of, so did anybody remember to bring a lantern?
Yes,
I
in
did.
fact, I did. I just checked it off.
Nice.
Well, because musket was checked, and I'm like, well, I don't have shoot. I can't really use musket. And
It's now part of the soldier's kit, so if you have that.
Yep. And all rookies actually come with a soldier's kit, but yeah.
Yes.
Cool. So I think everyone's like, it's pitch black in here. What are we doing? And then like this one dim light turns on. And yeah, you folks come in, and this is like an old shrine to Matiar. As a matter of fact, you see the twins back to back there's like a set of statues, and Matiar is holding a hammer, and behind him is his brother. So Matiar is looking outwards towards the world, and his brother Gerholtz the Hunter is standing behind him, facing inside towards the temple. And that's actually how you know that it's a temple to Matiar. They just tend to rotate the statues to show who it's more dedicated to, essentially. It's real pretty. There's actually like some nice like gold leaf and stuff on the ceiling. You see a bunch of imagery and stuff like that. Jen, because your doctor rolled so well on research, I'm going to say that you actually recognize the exact incarnation of Matiar that this was. They were alive about 250 years ago. The Chosen appear to deal with a particular great beast that's been harassing this area for a while. I think you saw the Brother's Spear in it a little earlier when your team got wrecked last side mission. So yeah, anyway, yeah, this is you see some hallways, you see this place. What do you folks want to do?
Is that it? Is that the hammer?
No, this is like
well, Crimson Rising Tide doesn't know.
Oh, okay.
He turns to Rhea and he's like, "Did we find it? Did we get the hammer? Is that it?" And he's like, holding his hands out, like we just,
I think actually, just for pure comedic effect, she kind of like half nods and says, "Yeah, that's the hammer," and waits for you to pick it up.
Right. Well, the statue's holding it. It's like part of the statue.
Yeah, it's marble.
It's marble.
I'm waiting for you to pick up this dumb marble hammer to make
Right.
fun of you. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I can because it's like presumably part of the statue.
Right.
I don't think it's
Doesn't mean you don't try.
what.
Right.
Exactly. So
Try.
I go up and I'm like, come on, let's go.
That's
And-
Oh,
not
wow.
the hammer.
I'm going to pause everything for just 1 second. I'm sorry to interrupt everyone, but I want to give a shout out to Vaclum, who has subscribed for 3 months. So thanks.
yeah, thank you, Matthew.
Woohoo!
Shout out. All right, cool. Continue.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm like, yeah, it's no good. We're gonna have to chop off the hand.
That's not the hammer.
That's
It's definitely a hammer.
It's
yes,
not
it's
the
a
hammer.
but it's not the hammer.
I feel like this is false advertising. This is fine. Fine. Let's go get the other hammer. We'll leave this one behind. This is a cool looking hammer.
What are you gonna do with a marble hammer?
I don't know, smash things.
Yes, but the first time you try to swing it at something, it's gonna break into a million pieces.
Well,
Marble is not a good material for weapons.
If it was made by a Chosen, it might survive. I'm just saying.
all right.
Right.
All
But
right.
yeah, not this one. Definitely not this one.
Chosen.
All right. All right. Okay. Then what's important here is who's in charge now. Because I just want to point out that our leader is out there.
I look at Raya. Because
Yeah.
Raya outranks us all.
Yeah.
It's clearly me.
So Raya, what are your priorities? Are your priorities to save this place? Are they to heal everybody that has level 1 harm?
That's a really good question. Where are you guys at harm-wise? And do we have any other rookies that aren't being played by players right now? with us?
There's 2 rookies being played. There's 1 soldier that's not being played, and I believe there's 1 rookie not being played.
Okay.
I'm playing Flavia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Flavia's
Right,
a soldier.
That's the one soldier, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Iranov Boyenva is not being played.
Yes,
Right.
she's a rookie.
She's a rookie.
Okay, so she's presumably with us then.
Yes,
Yep. Everybody made it in.
Oh, okay. I
except
was
for
Except for the sniper. The sniper
Except
is
for the sniper, right?
is
Yeah.
outside,
Okay.
probably hoofing it away from
But
Or maybe just waiting to provide suppressive fire. Who knows?
Okay.
I do think 2 of us have level 1 wounds.
Yeah, I think
Jen does too.
yeah, I do too. I think
Yeah.
that so long as we have people, what I want to see happen is I can tend to level 1 wounds and other people can search.
Okay, so the wounded are supposed to stand by you for the moment, and the rest of the folks will search, right?
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. So who wants to lead the search party here?
I will
I'll do
lead
it.
the search party. Okay,
Okay, you do it. No.
Let me just
Well,
ask,
smoke,
Jen, do you have 3 uses of tonics? I don't know your load.
Yeah, we didn't decide load, so
we should do that.
We should have.
yeah.
Marshall,
only,
that's part of your disease.
only 2 people have level 1 harm right now. Raya and Ignacio.
Okay.
As far as I know.
And I think you start with 1 tonics no matter what. Yeah, it's in your light load. So.
Yeah. Well, okay, so in the character sheet, they're not called tonics. I think they're called medical supplies.
Yes.
Right.
Because those are old sheets, but yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm working off the updated
and
rule set in my head.
Yeah, I think I have 2 of them under normal load, which I assumed that we were going in under normal load because we were not sneaking, but also it's very uncharacteristic of Rhea to go with a heavy load. So normal felt right. So yeah, I mean that would burn through both of my medical supplies to clear my level 1 harm and Ignacio's level 1 harm.
Cool. All right. So who's in charge of the search party here?
Flavia.
Flavia?
Yeah.
Awesome. So Flavia, you're with Ignacio just because it's convenient to put 2 players in this shenanigan, and you're moving into the temple, and you're essentially in what looks like it would be you see some signs like in the dust of footprints and such. Do you want to press on?
Yes.
Remember that you're looking for like okay,
right,
so like
yes.
As you do you like bring out weapons? How do you approach?
Cautious, but I don't bring out weapons yet. I assume we're the only ones in here because
remember that these people may have gotten lost here up to 3 years ago, right?
Right.
So there's this moment when you're kind of approaching like a dark region, and just before your light shines on it, this red glow of 2 eyes appears, and as your light comes up, you realize that there is several. For a second, you're just like they're people, and then you realize that they're entirely too pale and definitely not people. They're undead, but they're a different kind of undead than you've been seeing outside. As a matter of fact, you've heard childhood stories of this, which is that sometimes in some places, people that die are going to, like a long time ago, undead weren't unheard of. They just usually appear in like conditions where like they're near chosen, or like, you know, like they die with a leader and they hang on or something like that. And so like when you look at them, you remember the stories of revenants and like, oh, they drink human blood and they move so fast. And you don't know, like, unless you make a research roll, you have no idea what their powers are like. But as kids, you're told that they're basically like demons. And so your light shines on them and you recognize the Aldermani like logo on their shoulder and like on their tabards, right? Like they're like an Aldermani unit. But the one whose eyes are glowing is standing in front of them. And he holds in his hand a hammer, right? But like when you look at the hammer, you realize that the thing is like vibrating so much so that like its edges are difficult to see. It doesn't look like it's fully real. It's that weird. It's like it makes you almost queasy to like look at it too closely. But this thing like steps forward and it looks at all of you. And like you hear a whisper from behind it that says looters. And this one says, "Are you faithful?" What do you want to do?
Yes.
What do we know? I want to say yes. What do we know about Aldermani customs and religion? Right?
That's a research roll. You wanna give me a research roll? It's just the fortune roll. So like there's no consequence here. It'll just answer the question of what do we know?
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, or you could answer the question as if, are you faithful to your own faith?
Yeah, but if they're a different faith, then that makes me a heretic, right?
I don't think so.
Are you faithful? Yes, I am faithful.
You didn't say to the Aldermani gods, like.
Well,
I mean, bear in mind. So I'm going to pause and actually talk about blades a little bit here. One of the things that you can do is you can lie to it. That'll probably be a sway roll. I know that all rookies start with some sway. That's okay. Actually, it would be consort. It doesn't matter. But what you could do also is be like, hang on, we're going into an Aldermani temple. Maybe this is where I call for a flashback, and I talk about how I studied up on some of this stuff. So like I'm just giving you some blades food because as much as I will murder half your unit when you roll poorly, I am actually a fan of all of you. And I'm not trying to cheat you or anything. We're not antagonistic here. It's just the rules force me to murder you because undead are scary. It's not my fault.
Yes.
It's rules, which some stranger that is clearly not me wrote. So
clearly.
Right. I think Flavia answers.
Flashback to us all getting a primer in Aldermani customs from like the local what's it called?
Or the lore keeper.
Person?
Holy shit. Is it the lore keeper or did you go into like the local church?
It's up to Misha. I was going to suggest the lore keeper, but if you'd rather do the church, that's totally fine.
I mean, we're in a place where it's Aldermani, right? I mean, that's where Plainsworth is.
Yeah.
It's part of Alderman, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Plainsworth is in Aldermark. They would have a Temple to the Twins, presumably. You could have easily gone there. That's fine. So who's calling for this flashback? Jay or Misha? Because flashbacks cause stress. I'm just pointing this out.
Oh, I have no stress left, so that would probably not be a good idea.
So Flavia, you actually did the research, right?
I assume we were all kind of prepped.
Okay, that's cool. So you suggested it, and all of you went there maybe like the day before the mission or whatever?
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
It is a holy mission. It makes sense to learn about. Yeah.
All right. I mean, so I'm going to say that's not unreasonable, so it's going to cost you 0 stress. Especially if you're doing it as a unit, you people have already proven that you're kind of really tight as a group for some reason, which is cool. So like, yeah, like you folks are kind of pumped. You did your research. You're like, yeah, we're going to kick ass on this mission. That's not really a weird contrived thing. You knew that you were going in a temple after Matiar's artifact. So yeah, that sounds like a 0 stress flashback.
All right.
So I'm going to tell you that you have a pretty good primer on the basic stuff. And you maybe know like 1 or 2 details of the esoteric stuff. Do you want to talk to them about this? Do you want to lie to them? Do you want to try and flaunt your own faith? Do you want to tell them that, Zora sent you? Like, what do you want to do here?
Yeah, no, I don't want to lie. I want to split hairs.
Okay.
I will say I am faithful enough.
Okay. Do you want to give me a...
Can I, since we did a flashback with the whole group,
yeah,
can I say a thing that Crimson Rising Tide would have said to Flavia back in that flashback?
Sure, go for it. We can...
Yeah.
This is convenient because now we can add some details until you say something really unreasonable, and then I'll be like, now the flashback caused stress.
No, it's fine. So Crimson Rising Tide was like, okay, so we go there, and are we worthy of this hammer? The Broken took the spear. They killed they wrecked, because that last secondary mission, right, was the Hunter.
Right.
I'm like, we're getting vengeance on the Broken for taking the Hunter. Like, so because for some reason, Crimson Rising Tide just feels like the Ravens can do no wrong. His perspective is that we're going to do the most good. We're going to serve. We're going to serve the. Hold on, I know the name. We're going to serve the Matiar by using his hammer to avenge his brother. That's
perfect.
I would have said back then.
Yes.
Cool. So Jay.
Yes.
You're going to give them this speech. I feel like this is controlled right now.
Okay.
But this is a sway roll.
Gotcha.
This is controlled standard. Just let's see if you give them some information.
Right.
You had a pretty good flashback. I feel like they're not ready to melt your faces just yet.
Right.
Since I did that in the flashback, can I spend a stress to aid?
You totally can, Sean.
Cool.
You cheesy power giver, you.
I'm totally cheesy. Well, I mean,
It's all good. It's all good. I'm just messing with you. Yeah, I love it. Go for it.
Power hearing.
This is the power of flashbacks, by the way, folks. This is how you're supposed to use them. So as much as I'm making the joke here, Sean marks stress. Jay, you get a +1d.
Awesome. I will also push myself.
Go for it.
And I'm marking stress for that now. And so that's +2d.
Mm-hmm.
And here it comes.
Oh,
awesome.
well,
So
it was
you say,
controlled. It was controlled.
So yeah, so you say we're faithful enough, right? And he holds. Do you tell him, hey, so we need the hammer to help your brother out or whatever? Like since the spear was stolen, we kind of need this to help the to fight the broken. Is that a thing you say?
Yeah, that's the line. I like that, and so I mentioned that we will do the most good.
Right. So this feels perfectly reasonable.
Right.
Everything seems fine for a split second, and like in the movie, we see those eyes flare red, and it says "You cannot have it," and then you see like trails as it like rushes towards you. And before we get into that risky situation, back near the entrance, Doc, you've patched everyone up.
Yeah.
That squad is not returned. What do you plan on doing here?
I mean, I think we have to go check it out, right?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So you folks, pack your stuff up, I assume, and head in the direction of the missing squad. So I'm going to say that, they've been like moving forward cautiously and like scanning regions, and you're just following like footprints in the dust. Like there's fresh footprints here. Yeah. And as you're going to approach the situation, as Jay is about to put Favia into a very risky situation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you folks see. What do you folks want to do? Favia's not dead or anything, but you see this thing charged towards her.
Can I do a research on these revenant creatures?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Because
just give me
I'm too excited about that structure.
Well, I've had a number of players tell me that research is not useful, and what we're seeing here is a player engage with the research mechanics and actually leverage them to make a difference in the game. And so, like, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit of a nerd. I really love it when people's knowledge is useful. So.
Also, it's your opportunity to share the lore of the world with us.
Yeah, it's super fun for me. So, like, there's lots of people that are good at skirmish. The people that are good at research are my heroes. So, Jen, take it away.
All right.
But it's true.
Is this just like risky standard, or does it not matter?
Yeah, it doesn't matter for right now. I'm going to tell you what you know about them. What we're doing is I'm disclaiming responsibility. I'm not going to tell you what you know. The dice will tell us what you know.
I got a 6.
No is great.
Awesome. Awesome. So you know pretty much everything that you could reasonably know about revenants. So you know that a lot of the stories are full of shit.
Yeah.
You know that actually revenants can get stronger when they eat flesh or drink blood of the living. Like it gives them supernatural speed and strength.
Mm-hmm.
But what you know is that a long time ago when Blackshot was first created, it was assumed to be completely useless. It is a bullet that can kill things that are already dead. And so, like, everybody in the alchemy studies was just like, well, that's a useless curiosity. Who the fuck wants to use that? It doesn't even penetrate armor. It's stupid. Until the undead showed up, and then everyone's like, oh, holy shit, that's the most useful thing ever. But it has been used to kill revenants almost instantly.
Nice.
Like, any scratch by a Blackshot bullet should take them out.
Awesome. That seems helpful.
I mean, we have a sniper outside with Blackshot.
Yeah, but the sniper like is out of communication from me.
I know. I'm just.
Well, it is also possible that one of you has Blackshot. Uh-oh. Did nobody mark Blackshot?
Not this rookie.
Oh, because we didn't do loads.
Oh.
Well,
all right,
maybe,
so
someone wants to.
We should all do loads right now.
Yeah.
I had assumed that people had like filled them in the protocols, but we should do loads right now.
Yeah.
So I believe I have not penalized you. So folks, please don't go heavy. But normal or light loads, whatever works, go for it right now.
And I did normal for Flavia, but
Yeah,
I
I
got rid
figured.
of the musket, and
Yeah.
so there was no need to take the shot.
Well, you can. I mean, Black Shot is a 2 utility thing. So if you haven't,
If you're a soldier, you have bonus utility too.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
soldiers get 4 utility. So soldier with Black Shot seems reasonable.
Carrying it for the sniper.
I already said I have a lantern, so I don't think fictionally I can justify.
That's fair.
I had
Fair.
oil and shield, so I definitely do not have it.
All right, so I have Black Shot.
Awesome.
So yeah, I'm gonna, I think it's reasonable that I would remember which one on our team has Black Shot. I'm going to order that soldier to utilize his Black Shot.
So does anybody have a firearm?
Yes.
I do.
I think I do.
Yeah, you actually, I believe, have a fine.
I do have a fine pistol.
Do you wanna tank this, medic? Are you gonna make the key shot of the session here and not have your soldier get eaten by a vampire?
I mean, I want to, but my shoot is nothing. I'd rather hand the gun.
It's okay.
Over to...
Flavia can engage and hold the thing to give you an assist, for example, and you can push. There's a lot of ways to handle this, right?
Right, get some dice. Yes.
Right.
I can't push because I only have 1 stress left.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fine. You'll be fine.
Well,
you
here's a
could
different
hand the-
question. Do we have a devil's bargain?
Yeah.
I have a cool devil's bargain.
Of course you do.
So I think that no, you hear it and accept it. You'd say no,
Yeah.
but I think that everyone's armor is going to shatter when this thing engages, and you'll understand why in a hot second.
I mean, most of our armor's already spent.
Yeah, my armor's already spent.
No, so
Okay,
go for it.
are we cool with this? Then
Mine
I
is
get cool?
good.
All right, Flavia, I'll point out that the harm's coming at you. Carry on. Plus 1d. So you get plus 1d from the thing. Flavia, would you like to spend a stress to give the medic shoot it?
I most certainly will.
Or you can also spend a stress to toss Black Shot at the medic who's yelling for Black Shot. Anybody bring Black Shot?
Right. I have a whole other idea. Like you said, even the touch of it would do it. Flavia could try Flavia could try to literally just pop a shell out of its case, physically, skirmish with it, shove this Black Shot in its face. Because if even a touch will disintegrate the thing, it's not. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't want to change the action, but it feels like if we're really trying not to do one thing, that
if Jen really doesn't want to do shoot, Flavia could try that. That's probably going to be desperate.
I actually I think I have a different devil's bargain.
Oh, okay. Tell us
how you feel about this. But I actually think, knowing that I don't actually have to shoot them in a vital organ or something, right?
Yep.
I think a devil's bargain, a good one for Rhea, might be that I get up close to have a point blank shot. But then
that's fine. That's perfect. Harm. Yep. Take that as a +1. Okay. So the harm's going to be worse. Your position is going to be slightly worse. That's all. And you can totally run up to Rhea and grab that Black Shot right off her back and slap it in that gun for some point blankness. Yeah. All right. If you run point blank and use guns, that's actually skirmish. I don't know if that changes anything for you.
It does, actually. Yes,
all right.
It does.
Cool. So why don't you give me a desperate skirmish?
Nice.
Standard?
Standard.
Okay. And then I
plus
get
2d.
Plus 2d, yeah. I got a 6.
That's what you need. Cool.
Mark XP.
Mark XP.
I did.
So I think that there's this moment, by the way, just for cinematic purposes, Flavia, as this thing comes in, right? Like you just see its eyes
Mm-hmm.
leaving trails as it's moving in, and it goes to swing the hammer. Mm. What is your weapon?
I have a fine large weapon. I'm thinking it's a large, long-handled axe.
Awesome. And do you like your axe? Is it a cool axe?
Did you like your axe?
Yeah, I do. I think I crafted the handle myself.
Oh, God.
Right?
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I think that there's
I think
this
it's got
moment.
this nice, big, nasty head blade on the top. Yeah,
I think that hammer comes down, and as it touches the axe, you hear the crack, and then it just shatters, right? Like, and as you're falling back, you see the black shot going into the chamber, and this thing like lifts up the hammer, and it just says unfaithful, and then you see the black shot take like fire. It just clips it. You see that ethereal green flame, and it falls down just like it's like it's a cut marionette, and then you see the four bodies behind it activate and start heading towards you folks. What do you folks want to do?
I grabbed the hammer.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, cool.
Wait, do you have stress?
Yeah, she's okay. So you grab the hammer.
Yeah, because as
your hand closes around it, that shaking happens, right? Like the hammer is vibrating, and then the hammer stills and comes into focus, but your hand starts vibrating, and you start feeling like almost like the world, you can see it slightly differently. You can feel your bones start cracking under the weight of the hammer. So take one stress, because anybody willing the hammer on a mission has to take a stress. And because like what you're doing is you're like basically just trying to fight it off so that it doesn't wreck your hand. Yikes. But you realize, looking at these things coming at you, you know where to strike so that their armor you can basically like wreck their armor with precision. You can see the stonework around you. You know where to hit it to collapse it. And you feel like you're basically like holding living lightning in your hand. Like if you hit something with this thing and it's like a physical object, you can crack it and like break it. Because that's what the hammer does. Because it's the hammer of Matiar.
Nice.
Cool. So what do you folks want to do?
I am worthy.
Yeah, you are. Good job. So you're having four revenants coming at you, folks. What does everyone want to do? You want to do group skirmish? What do you want to attempt to like wreck them? Like what's the plan here?
Well, we just for position, we came into this room, and I presume that we were kind of, because they were going really slow and they saw the lights and they stopped. I assume that we're like at the mouth of this room, right?
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So if you're really good at wrecking right now, maybe we collapse the hallway and then GTFO or just GTFO. I don't know. Like, but it seems like there's no business we have with the rest of those residents.
Peace. Story checks.
Yeah, I don't know. I think knowing Crimson Rising Tide, he's like, smash it. Like, right? Like I think that's his go-to is like, you should wreck this thing. So
how you feeling there, Thor?
Yeah.
I want to try it out. So let's wreck it.
Cool. So whenever wielding the hammer, I believe you get +1d to wreck. I have to double check my own rules here.
That is what it says in the mission parameter. Yep.
Good job. You get +1d to wreck and rig, I think, as long as you're holding it.
That's correct.
And using it, obviously. Yeah. Yep, there you go. Do you have any more wreck?
I have one wreck on just one wreck.
Cool. So this would give you +1d. Do you want to push? Does somebody want to assist by like holding these guys off or something?
I do want to push.
Okay, so you push. That's going to be another +1d.
All right.
Please roll a critical while wielding this unimaginable hammer.
Do I want to put? Do I want to?
What's my position?
Risky standard.
Okay.
Standard
it should be risky. Great.
The standard effect here is you're gonna bury them, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Do I want to put? I don't know how. I mean, Crimson Rising Tide really wants to help, but I'm not sure I know how.
You can just use your spear to keep those things at bay. You can come up with a plan, which is an assist. Anything that's actually helping this to happen. It doesn't have to like physically be you shoving the hand up or something, you know?
Yeah, right. I think I point to like since I was yelling it, I think I point to the like if I don't know if I'm just gonna make up this detail, but if if the doorway has like an arch in it,
Yeah.
I say like if you smash the center of the arch, the whole thing collapses, right? I don't know why Crimson Rising Toad knows about architecture, but he does. So yeah, I'm gonna spend this,
There it
guys.
is.
As a point of note, the Panyar are known for their really complex and delicate architecture. Many of them teach at or at universities about
Oh,
it.
good point. I am not an artisan, but I've perhaps been around enough of them.
Maybe your dad was.
Yes, maybe my dad.
Or your mom.
Maybe
your
you
mom.
got into trouble as a child by accidentally collapsing an arch on your head.
Yes, there you
Maybe.
go.
So I think you're getting
Nice.
3 bonus dice.
Yep, 3 bonus dice, 1 wreck die. Here it comes. Boom.
That's a critical.
Damn.
Yes, I like this hammer.
So your effect is you collapse the archway and you keep everyone safe, but you get a bonus effect. What do you want it to be?
Can you have another way out of this building?
Yes.
I like that.
Cool.
If we collapse enough that we can escape out, climb over the
So
rocks.
in your process of studying this building, you notice the place that you can attempt to wreck to create an additional exit through the cliffside. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I like that.
All right. So I think I'm going to call the mission here because with that effect, the undead are coming in, but I don't know that they're going to get to you faster than you're going to be able to wreck your way out with this magic hammer, right? So Flavia, how do you act once you folks get out and meet up with the sniper? Like you're holding living lightning in your hand. Do you let it go? Do you set it aside? Do you put it in a bag? Do you
No,
lord it over everyone? Like, what does this look like?
that's right. I lord it over everyone.
Oh,
Yes, I brought the lightning. Yes.
Crimson Rising Tide is doing a dance around you, like she's got the lightning, she's got the lightning, she's got the lightning. He is just like dancing. He's like your like one person entourage. He's just running around. Like, do you see that shit? I mean, not that's a little anachronistic, but basically, he is.
I think Ria's a little bit sour because if it weren't for Ria, like you might have been wrecked by that hammer.
It's
so,
true.
I think I'm a little tight-lipped around Flavia at the moment.
Ignacio, how's your bravado holding up here?
Ignacio's seen some shit, and so that's an impressive hammer, and Ignacio's just going to stay out of way of said large hammer, because Ignacio's not a hammer kind of guy.
Awesome.
Because
I love that we have this whole gamut, right? Like we have Ignacio's reaction, we have like Ria's like silence, we've got like the dancing. So I have to ask Jay. I know that this is putting pressure on you to play 2 characters, but how does the sniper react?
Right.
Do you bark orders? Because once they rejoin you, you're in charge, right?
Right. I think the sniper's concerned that this is a problem, right? Will Flavia give up that hammer for the Legion, right?
Right.
Or I mean, am I going to have to take Flavia? Should I take Flavia down now, right, before it becomes a problem later?
So what's the call here, person in charge of squad?
I think once everyone's back and we're circled up, I think the sniper wants to get the hammer. I don't know. I don't know if there's like a neutral place where we put all the stuff as we take it back.
Sniper, I mean, you can just say like, put that thing away. You know, like just holding it probably causes problems or something like that. And we can either decide does Flavia give up, or do you want me to make a fortune roll if you want to disclaim responsibility?
Yeah, I think you have to make the fortune roll.
Okay.
My nature is to say no. I have the hammer. I'm not giving it up. Make me give it up.
Okay.
I was gonna say Ria would totally knock out Flavia with some drugs.
Do we want to say that's what happens?
I'm good with that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
I love it. That will not cause hurt feelings later at all.
But that's real cool. Yeah, I think she's like, I have the
total Firefly
hammer
moment.
in the backpack. Some of the people get Flavia over her shoulder. All right, cool. Sweet. So Good job, everybody. That was an awesome mission.
Nice.
Now it's time for XPs.
Let's do it.
Alrighty, so XP. So Chevalier Ignacio Montoya did not roll any desperate actions. He did in fact survive the mission. Yay.
Nice.
I did help my squad by staying out of the way and surviving despite the odds. I think that counts.
I think you did.
I brought into play my heritage or traumas. Yes, I did. And per highest threat of opponent faced.
3.
Which was 3. Very cool. Flavia, would you like to go next?
Flavia. There we
As
go.
you
Okay.
drool
Yes.
from the floor as your puddle.
Where's my hammer?
Well,
Yeah,
actually,
for me,
pause,
Doc, this
pause.
is really
So, according to the rules, only one, either the sniper or Flavia can get XP.
Gotcha.
Jay or the team, you folks can decide who it is. Basically, you got to play Flavia so that you aren't like locked out of the mission, but only one character of the two of them can get XP. So, which would you like? I feel like both had some pretty epic moments, right? Like the sniper had some really cool suppressive fire, had a lot of like planning and whistles to send everyone everywhere.
Right.
The sniper gets to
right.
go on more missions because they're can go on any mission, but
Right.
but yeah, I
Flavia
don't know.
may not.
Flavia may not.
No, yeah, let's do that. Let's go with Flavia. I'm okay with that.
Awesome. So Flavia, let's run your XP list here. Read them off.
All right. I don't think Flavia rolled anything desperate.
Possible.
Yeah, I don't think
Yep.
she did.
It's true.
She survived the mission. That's
Yep.
one.
One.
You helped your squad through courage or determination.
I feel so.
I think, yeah. I think courage. She grabbed that hammer.
And determination to keep holding it and using it, right?
Yep.
Yes.
That's one XP
You
still.
brought into play. Say it again.
I said it's one XP, but yes. Go on. You brought into play your.
Heritage or trauma.
You don't have trauma, but.
No. I don't know that I.
Well, what are your heritages?
Orite, noble, connected.
So I feel like connected came up when you essentially looked into the local area and you found a temple.
Oh, that's
and
right.
Took
Yeah.
everyone there.
I also think noble sort of comes up into your entitlement here of like, no, this is
Yeah.
mine.
My hammer.
Yes. I can buy that. I like that.
Cool. So one XP there, and
And per
3
highest
for
threat
highest-
of opponent face.
that's 3. Put the XP wherever you like.
2, 3. Right.
Who's next?
Rhea can go next.
Sure.
I marked XP for my desperate action that I rolled.
Good job.
I survived the mission. I did help the squad through medical knowledge.
Yeah, you did.
Amen.
I do think that I brought my stoic
Definitely.
trait into play with the deft solving of the please drop the hammer problem. And like you said, 3 for the threat.
There you go.
All right, and Crimson.
Crimson Rising Tide. I'm
Yep.
gonna make one. I had marked my desperate already. Mark 1 for surviving. I helped my squad by staying out of the way or surviving desperate odds. Despite odds, I think I survived. Despite odds, I think there were lots of times when
Yep.
I almost didn't survive.
That was that. If any rookies earned it, it's definitely you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You brought your heritage or traumas into play. I was talking about my traveler quite a bit.
Yep.
And how, but also, I that in, and I get 3 more facing threat 3 opponent. And that's that.
Rock and roll.
Let's do the secondary mission real quick.
All right. 1 second.
Oh, before we end this mission though, Jen took.
Oh yeah, let's use that
Field-
doctor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank
use
you.
that doctor to put some healing ticks on people.
Okay, at the end of a mission, you may expend remaining doctor uses to add 1 check to a Legionnaire's level 2 or 3 harm once per person. So I think that I have 2 uses of doctor. So
Correct.
I
Well,
can put
You definitely have level 2 harm.
yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say I can put 1 to myself.
Yep.
And I believe
and
Sean
then-
has one.
I've got level 2 as well.
Okay.
But is there somebody, I don't know, I hate to diss Crimson Rising Tide, but is there somebody more important than Crimson Rising Tide with level 2 harm?
I don't think so, actually.
I think everyone else was level 1 and
Yep.
Yeah, I
got rid
believe
of
so.
that. So Jen, I just want to point out that you effectively, from the quartermaster's perspective, thank you, because you effectively healed like 5 healing ticks by getting rid of, or 4 healing ticks by getting rid of 2
Yeah.
level 1s and putting ticks on
Mhm.
level 2. So
Doctors are subtle. So, like, if you read their rules, you're like, how effective are they really? The answer is very effective. So,
Yeah, I at the start of the session I was frustrated because I didn't realize how long I would have to wait to use field dressing, but I knew that once we got to it, it would come in handy.
yeah, well, the nice thing is that means when I use R&R, everyone's going to be fully healed. which is
Yes.
great.
All right. So for our next mission, we are sending our officer and our scout, correct?
I believe just the officer is what I have written down, which
Okay.
is okay, because that's all you need to meet
Yep,
the mission
just need one.
parameters.
All right. So everybody, and they are taking our silver stags. I can talk. Graf Zardani, Arun Yadab, Ochre Shifting Sands, Esquiteria Silvana, and Elea Fyodorin.
Fyodorovna, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, go.
Fyodor Morovich.
That one.
Yeah.
So everybody is Ostor. Commander, are you spending an intel
For the secondary mission.
for the secondary mission?
Yes.
All right.
So I'm down to 2. Okay. No, I feel
everybody-
good.
Actually, you're down to 1 because you spent 1 on the primary.
Yeah,
and
no,
you
you're
spent 1 on
right,
the
you're
secondary.
right.
So
Yeah.
I'm just holding up. I'm just doing Misha's dice
Yep,
count. That's
cool.
all.
Yep.
Go on.
Everybody is not a veteran. This squad, nobody should distrust or not fear.
Nope, you're
And
good.
we have the required specialist. This is a religion. No, this is a
It is a religious
supply
mission. Oh no, this is a supply mission. Yes.
Yes. Supply mission. Quartermaster, did you spend food to equip the mission?
Good question.
We're gonna finish that tuber project with the hammer.
Yeah. Yeah, let's say yes.
Okay.
Because I want to go for a crit here.
All right. And then is our current pressure higher than 2?
No.
All right.
And Zayanova, because she's a tactician, adds 1 as well.
All right. So that is 4.
This is the most dice you can actually get in this game for a secondary mission. You folks have spent everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
If you want, we could not spend intel, Jay. If you wanna hoard that.
Pull
I
it
mean,
back. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that'd be all right. If you
All
guys
right.
are good with that.
So
Yeah.
Jay, make sure that you have 2 intel marked on your sheet and 3. It's 3 dice now, Misha. Sorry, but give it a
That's
spin.
fine.
Austin, come on back.
I love how like all of us are like, how many rookies died?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So now you have a difficult choice, Misha, and this is completely in your hands on how many people you want to murder. Let's have a quick talk about outcomes. So, the mission is at a crossroads. You can choose to fail the mission and all the troops return unharmed, everything's fine, or 2 squad members die if they press on, and all specialists take level 2 harm, but you succeed at the mission.
What do we get for succeeding on a supply mission?
So succeeding on this mission will grant
Oh,
you
this
something
is
really
pretty
cool.
big. Yeah, this is pretty big.
So this Operation Diamond Tiger is the last time Legion passed through this area, they met the Clockmaker. It's a very famous Orite engineer priest who wrote the book on several inventions, including pressurized grapnels. His daughter happened to marry an Aldermani man, and he retired nearby. He repaired a bunch of your gear, and everyone in the Legion feels like they owe him. If you fail the mission, you're going to take a morale hit because everyone's like, it's an old man. He did right by the Legion. He's an alright. We love him. If you succeed, you get an additional unit of laborers and +1 supply. Basically, what happened is when the undead came into the mountain towns, his daughter led the charge into the mines. And so, like, a lot of these specialized engineers are hiding in the mines, and the undead are like, are you going to hide in the mines? Cool. We drop the mines on you. And so they're suffocating in the mines, and your troops have to rescue them and get them out before, like, this happens.
Poopsicles. Yeah, I think we need to succeed.
Okay, so you get to choose
Yeah, I know.
2 people that die, and the officer is going to take level 2 harm. So let's decide what happens. How do these people die? Do they have to like do a heroic defense? Do they die in a mine collapse? What's the story here?
Yeah, I think they were the one of the mines started collapsing, and the what's the word I'm looking for? So bad at names. The Zimyati, Alea, and the Esquit Tyria Solana stayed, and they were like holding up the roof long enough for the civilians to get out right before it collapsed onto them. So
say once more who it is so that I can drag them to the
bottom
greater.
2. Alea, Fyodor. Why did I pick this name?
It's okay. It's not that bad.
Alea and Esquit Tyria Silvana.
All right. Let me drop them in the graveyard here for you. Oh, I have to grab them by the little bars. My bad. All right, there we go. Alea and who the Esquite?
Yep. Yeah, Tyrius.
All right, excellent. So they die, and the officer suffers some harm. Maybe some like maybe like bone bruising. Does that sound fine?
I put concussion if that works.
Perfect. That sounds great.
Or yeah, I think she got Zainab got clocked on the head.
All right. Cool.
Now, so we now have 2 partial squads. Can we squish them together to make a single squad? How does that work?
Yeah, you can, but that's going to happen during the downtime phase. Yeah. You can move things around, but be aware that affects morale, right? Like some squads might be like, they're not used to working with each other. Yeah. They obey the marshal, but it's going to be interesting. We'll see who gets sent and how that happens.
I was going to say, who's ever tracking morale has to take -2.
That's correct. That would be Misha.
Yeah, that's me.
So -2 for the loss of the 2 legionnaires, and that's the secondary mission. You automatically fail the 3rd mission, which, if I recall, I actually had it up in chat, so I clicked the link.
There was no.
There's no penalty
for that one. Yeah.
Good job. It was a mission of opportunity. Yay. Yeah. Cool. So that's the end of the missions. Usually we would play it back at camp scene, but I think we're at time. So let's pick up with mission rewards and penalties at the start of next session, and we'll go from there. Sound good?
Yep.
That's perfect.
All right. Good job, everybody.
This was another close one.
You will find that most missions in B.O.B. end up like that.
Yeah.
It depends. Actually, that's not true. I've had missions where we just rolled 6s for some reason, and it went pretty smoothly. But that's really, really rare. So it depends. All right, cool. So shall we do our outros?
Yeah.
All right.
I think I'm up first.
You are, Sean. Take it away.
I'm Sean. I played the amazing, unkillable, unstoppable, never gonna die Crimson Rising Tide tonight, and it was a blast. You can find me everywhere at Sean Nittner, and I am stoked about playing this game. I'm stoked that the Babylon Equity Project that we launched on Tuesday funded
wildly successful.
2 days
2 days, 26 grand. What
26
the
grand.
hell?
We're bringing 30
Awesome.
people of color to Big Bad Con. It is friggin' awesome.
That is awesome.
And the Big Bad Con Kickstarter will be launching next week. So you'll be able to get your tickets and get gift boxes and all kinds of cool stuff there. So that is I'm very excited about that. How about you, Misha?
Hi, I'm Misha B. I am on Twitter at Black Girl Gameworks, BG Gameworks on Twitter. Wow, it is late. I am one of the people who will be coming to Big Bad Con because of the Babylon Equity Project, which is awesome. Fun con, love it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm a little brain dead tonight, so we'll see how else things go. How about you?
Really
Jay?
late for you.
Yeah.
I'm Matt J. I'm Matt J0 on Twitter. I played Flavia the Thunder Goddess.
You should tell Zora that.
I know. Hey Zora, you got a flaming sword. Guess what I can do?
I'm the Thunder Goddess. I'm looking forward to Big Bad Con. It's my favorite con of the year, so I enjoy playing out there. I get some really good games when I go. So, Jen.
I am Jen Martin. I use she, her pronouns. I am at Jen Martin80 on Twitter. I'm the LARP coordinator for Big Bad Con, so I'm also super excited about it. What about you, Strash?
Hey, I'm Strash, he, him. You can find me at StrashA on the Twitters. I am really excited to have this many people this engaged in chat watching this game. So thank you all for joining us. And also, I want to say I am really excited for being done with this book, which should be happening here in a matter of days. I want to say this book, I mean Band of Blades, because I think the almost release candidate, almost last version is with our editor Karen and Sean here. So. Whew, that's been a long road. I'm excited. I just want to ask everyone, if you can, join us next week for more awesome Adventures of the Legion. We'll see what the commander has prepped, and we'll make all the missions and do all the magic in between. So, yeah. Good night, all.
Good night.